Hey guys, welcome back again. Slade, grade level collectibles, back again with another video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the last video. I know it was it was definitely a long one. Collect Pokemon's pretty cool. We talked for a long time. As you can see, the video was it 2 hours and 20 minutes, some of that sort. But we actually talked for upwards of like 3.5 hours. After the video call was over, we just continued to talk, and it was really cool. Really cool seeing the inside in Hong Kong, and obviously his business. Every single type of business is entirely different. There are a lot of cookie cutter businesses out there, obviously, aka franchises, everything of that sort. But everyone operates a little bit different. And hearing his story, and what he went through and where he started and where he starts now, it's really inspirational. He's kind of similar to me where he doesn't do full-time Pokemon. Like I don't do full-time Pokemon. I have a 9-to-5 job. He does a similar thing, but he spends a lot of time and energy in his Pokemon business, probably more time and energy than me, because he does a lot of rips and ships, and he has a Patreon. I'll probably join his Patreon, get a little mystery packs, not mystery packs, but I guess it is like a mystery box, whatever, but it's like sealed product and everything. But his Patreon, different tiers, you can sign up for that. But I may do that just to see, because he told me he's like a wholesaler, distributor, where a lot of businesses are structured around that. And for me, I found a lot of aspects of wholesaling Pokemon boxes and everything is a whole new realm. I know a guy in Instagram where it's insane. This whole Terastal festival, I'll get to that here in a second. And there's some topics I wish we talked more about with the video, but obviously you can't do a conversation for 5 hours. But anyway, also let me just double check this is recording. Okay, cool, it is, because I've sat here and talked for 45 minutes and it wasn't recording, so just always got to check that. But I know a guy on Instagram who, on Terastal Festival, when it was released, he knows a lot of streamers, a lot of streamers, and so during the first week, or even during the first week and a half, he sold 5,600 boxes. 5,600 boxes. That's what he told me. For those who can't do the math in your head, well, I already did the math because I'm a math guy. That's upward of $300,000 that he purchased these boxes. Now, obviously, he didn't make that much money. $300,000. He maybe made $30,000, some of that sort, because he maybe take 10%, 10% margin, maybe a little bit less. But $300,000 plus sending to Japan, and that's at another tier that I've ran into certain problems. I have a store owner that I work with to buy Japanese booster boxes, and just sending like $20,000, maybe a little bit less, to Japan. There's a bunch of hoops that you have to jump through. You really have to be your own distribution, where you have to buy so many cases at once, bring them here in the United States, and then distribute it from your house. Sometimes there's a lot of logistical things that doesn't make sense, where you won't even make a margin. As in, if you ship a whole bunch of packages from your house, shipping 20-pound packages it costs upwards of $15 to $18. And depending on your margin, depending on how much, it's probably a lot more. 20 pounds, that's a lot, probably up to $50, cuts into your margin. And so if you can, have that be offshored onto Japan, shipping your boxes for you, maybe boxes of 30 to 60 to 100 booster boxes per, that alleviates a lot of the cost and, gives you a little bit more margin in the sense of, it's like a double shipping. You ship all the boxes here in the United States, it's factored into your cost. Maybe it costs $1 extra per booster box to ship it to the United States, versus you shipping it directly to the person. It saves you $1 a box. So if you buy 200 boxes, that's saving you $200. And it doesn't sound like much, but when your profit margin is only, like I said, 5,600 booster boxes only gives you, $30,000. Divide that up, you're only making a couple bucks per booster box anyway. So yes, it's crazy right now with the Terastal Festival. and I kind of wanted to get into that first, but again, it was so fun talking to Collect Pokemon. He doesn't want me to use his name, so that's why I'm referring him to Collect Pokemon. Really fun talking to him. Really nice dude. Just knowing and learning the market in Hong Kong is so valuable for people like myself in the hobby and in the space of selling these booster boxes. And it's a lot closer to Japan than we are, obviously, and so he has a lot more insight into the market, and that leads us into our first little discussion was Terastal Festival. Terastal Festival came out, and it's funny, it's not even a word. It's not terrestrial. It's Trestal, and it's not a word. It's very weird. And maybe I'm wrong about that, but I'm fairly certain it's not a word. But certain the translations is not lined up well with Japanese to English. But our Prismatic Evolutions, it came out, and I didn't think it would shoot up as much as it did. I thought it would go up at about $20, and it would hover there for a good bit of time. But it really took off. It really took off because of I would say, the plethora of God packs. I think it's just I don't think they changed the God packed hit rate. I thought they did with how many God packs were being pulled and shared on social media, but I think it's just how many people are absolutely opening the crap out of Terastal Festival. That you've seen a lot more of the God packs out there, but absolutely God tier artwork. With all the alt arts, and I wish it was a little bit more. I felt like I wanted a little bit more. I think the ideal set to me, and this is maybe rose tinted glasses a little bit, but the V-Star Universe, I felt had a lot more artwork, and it had a lot more variety of artworks. This is specifically a centered Eevee set, and there's pros to that, and there's cons of that. The pros to that is that people who love Eevee stuff, who love evolutions, all that, they have a whole set for that. And there are other cards except for Eevee. Obviously, you can pull a whole lot of Secret Art Rares and other, the one hit per box. You can pull a lot of them out. The box that I opened with my wife. We got the mask, the green mask guy, all SIR. But there's a lot more in the artwork, but it's centered around the EVs, obviously. And certain sets that are very cohesive and centralized around a certain theme, like obviously EV Heroes around the EVs. You got the Pokecune around the cutesy Pokemon artwork, everything throughout the set. It's very cohesive. Where you have a lot of other sets that are just like, oh, let's throw this and throw that and throw that into it. And you see that a lot in Japanese. Well, you see that a lot in English, but you see the cohesiveness in Japanese because each English, per people who don't know, each English set is 2 Japanese sets smashed together. That's why with EV Heroes, you had the whole theming. If you look at all the artwork, you have the whole theming behind this town. Kind of reminds me of a town on no map, or a town on no map, which is pretty cool. Which was I'm gonna botch it, but I think it was our the Crystal Charizard expedition. Yeah, our expedition. I think it was, but that's a cool kind of set. But anyway, it was all this specific town, different viewpoints. Obviously, the Umbreon VMAX, that's literally part of the town, the tower and everything. And you see a bunch of the EVs wandering around this specific town. And if you know the EV Heroes Premium, Ultra Premium box, whatever, the Japanese one, not the English one, that had the Espeon alternate art in it, you can actually see more of the town. So it's just a lot more cohesive with Japanese sets. And that's a lot of the pros with Terastal Festival that has come about. But some of the cons is that the set doesn't feel fleshed out a lot. To me, it's very cohesive, very very poignant, but at the same time, for people who don't like EV, don't like the evolutions, which I know there are a lot of people out there. You could feel more to desire from it. Just like I feel V-Star Universe hit a lot of things. You had so many alternate arts, so many Pokemon that had alternate arts, and you could say I'm just shilling for V-Star Universe, but honestly, I think that was the best, the best high class set we've ever had, and still have ever had. I think the Master Ball Pokeball things is really cool. Oh my gosh, okay, I gotta say this. On my first box that I opened, the only box that I've opened with Terastal Festival, I pulled the Grookey Pokeball, not the Master Ball, sadly, but the Pokeball. I already sent it off to get grading. I was ecstatic. I was like, oh my gosh. I think I posted on my Instagram, but I'm a big Grookey fan, and I was over the moon for getting that card. I was like, oh what? So it was really cool. I think it was like my first booster pack I got it, so I'm just super excited about that. Monkey Pokemon is just what I'm really into, but yeah, that's and as we've seen in the market as well, market trends of Terastal Festival, it has kind of peaked at 10,000 yen from the floor price in Japan. What I'm paying for it to ship over here in the United States, it's 10,000 yen, which in dollars it's like $62. And so usually things in Japan that are shipped over here, it's like a minimum upcharge of $20 because of the cost of shipping from Japan to over here is around $20. So we've seen that kind of steadied out, and I feel that it maybe go a little bit above. I was predicting it would peak at $100, maybe a little bit above, but it feels like right now there was a huge rush. Why you saw prices go up and up and up was because there's a huge rush out of Japan, all the product out of Japan going to streamers, going to the people in the United States to rip it open for everybody else. And once that supply evaporates in the United States, then you'll see another draw up, and a lot of people, buying from Japan over to the United States. And you see at the same time you see a inverse where the floor price is Japan, but at the same time you can find some boxes a little bit cheaper in the United States. And I feel that the only reason that is because people have bought a whole bunch of product from Japan over the United States, and it's kind of like a surplus right now. So when you have this imbalance between the price being lower than the Japanese price, that's kind of some opportunity ringing in the sense of that person who's selling it at that price, they can't go and turn around and buy more of it and still make a profit. They cannot. They have to buy the higher price. So I would say take advantage of the prices here in the United States. Some of them, I would say a good sweet spot is $75 to $80, maybe a little bit less, but that is a good sweet spot. And anything below 75, just pick it up instantly, honestly. And I've heard in the grapevine that there's going to be a reprint. There's going to be a reprint in January. Some say that's going to be a reprint, very, very small reprint in the late December, early January. But that's kind of unconfirmed. But they are going to reprint the set. And like I've said many times before, if you don't want to FOMO, don't FOMO. There's going to be this reprinted forever ago. It's going to be reprinted many more times after this. And that's not a guarantee. EV Heroes was reprinted maybe twice. Maybe 3 times at most, and look at EV Heroes now. Even though there was a huge price increase and then dwindled that back down, it's like a 3-year-old set and 2 or 3-year-old set, and it's at like $250, $300. So, and the only reason for that was because it's a small amount of supply. But again, there's nothing in stone about the reprint. So that's kind of my current thoughts about Terastal Festival. I think it's a really good set and everything. But if you don't want to FOMO, don't FOMO. Wait a little bit out. But like I said, I had a lot of fun time talking to Collect Pokemon. I've been watching his channel for years now, and it kind of just occurred to me like, oh man, I should reach out to him. I should see if he wants to do an interview. I reached out, and funny enough, he just saw my poncho set. My poncho set collection collection set that I did video, and that video is, I think, my #1 performing on my channel right now, because obviously everyone likes ponchos, and I probably should do more videos of me showing off my collections that I don't do right now. I'd rather, I don't know, not rather, but there's only so much stuff I can show off because I only have so much stuff. I think these discussion more based videos are a lot obviously easier to do, but at the same time, if I'm showing off my poncho set every other video, then it's probably not very entertaining for the people who are watching. So, but I'm gonna leave this video kind of short and sweet. About my thoughts about Terastal Festival and my experience with collect Pokemon. I would like to do other interviews later. I have some people in my mind from not my personal life, but more store owners that I've worked with in the past and would like to interview, pick their brain. I really like discussion based videos because sometimes it doesn't get old. It's a little somewhat intimidating. Not intimidating, I don't know, like talking to a camera like directly just in my thoughts, because I've gone this down a rabbit hole before of, you know, it's micro analyzing myself and like, oh wait, that's not true, or I said something wrong, or I said something a little bit different than I was supposed to meant. And sometimes I get out of my comfort zone, or I feel more comfortable talking directly to a person instead of directly to you guys, a camera. I know you guys aren't cameras, but that's what I see. But I really like the interactions I make in Pokemon, and would really like to interview more people. So if you guys have any people in mind that I'd like to speak to, pick their brain about, and just add some questions and ask some questions to and everything, definitely let me know. Say it in the comments. I know I don't really say it a lot, but I love you guys' feedback or your guys' comments that you leave for, you know, anything that's on your guys' mind. I know it boosts the YouTube algorithm, but like I said before, I don't do this full time, so I'm not really trying to make it a full-time job. But if you guys want to comment down below, go for it. If you want to subscribe, go for it. I very much appreciate it. Again, I blabbered off enough today for this video, so I'll catch you guys in the next one. See you later.